Hey guys, today's daily question is find the student that will replace the chalk. In this question, they are given n students from 0 to n minus 1, and the teacher will give each student a problem starting from 0 to n minus 1, one by one, and every student will use the chalk to solve the problem. And there is also given a integer array chalk that represent every student will use chalk I number of chalks to solve the given problem, and initially there are given k chalks to us. So there are k chalks in the room, k chalk pieces. Return the index of student that will replace the chalk pieces. So we have to return at what point the chalk will be, there will no more chalks to solve the problem. Okay, so let's see with the example. This example is good. Example 2, let's see in this example the given vector is 3 4 1 2. So there are four students numbered from 0 to 3, and initially there are 25 chalk pieces. So first student will use 3 chalk pieces to solve the problem, second uses 4, third uses 1, and fourth uses 2. And it is also given in the question, after the last student, the teacher will come back again to the 0th student, the first student, and the process will repeat continuously in that cycle. So let's see in this example what will happen. So the teacher will give the problem first to the first student, which is at the 0th index, and he will solve the problem with 3 chalk pieces. So after that, value of remaining chalk pieces will be 22. After that, the next student will use 4 chalk pieces, the next will use 1, and the final will use 2. So after the first iteration of this chalk array, the number of chalk pieces used is 3 plus 4 plus 1 plus 2, which is 10. And after the second iteration, 10 chalk pieces will again be used. So after two whole iterations of this chalk array, the value of remaining chalks will be 5, as the 10 chalk pieces are used twice. So k will be decreased from 25 to 5. After that, first student will again solve the problem, and at this point, when the second student will try to solve the problem, he want to use 4 chalk pieces, but he is left with only 2 pieces, so he cannot solve the problem. So we'll return the index of that student that cannot solve the problem at the point. So the output is given as 1, because this is first index 0 1 2 3, and also given return the index of the student that will replace the chalk pieces. So at this point he will replace the chalk pieces, so we have to just return that answer. So what we can simply do, it is a simple simulation based problem. We can simply iterate over this array, and at this point we will shift our iterator that we will use as I or j any variable to the 0th index, and we will continuously iterate in the cycle. And at any index, when the number of chalk pieces, we will mark a total, and if total exceeds the k, then we will return that index. But there's a problem that if the value of k is very large, as in the given constraints, k can be up to 10 to the power 9. So if the values k is very large and this array is small than k, so what will happen? The cycle will loop again and again and again. And what we can simply do to reduce to reduce the time complexity, we will simply take the modulus of k with the sum, so that we will discard the iterations that will happen. We will discard those iterations, and we will iterate only to the final time when we will get the answer. Okay, so like in this example, as the given value of k is 25, we will first find the sum. So the total sum will be 10, and we will divide the k with this sum. So 25 modulus 10 will be 5. So we know at the last iteration we have 5 chalk pieces. Okay, so we have 5 chalk pieces. So after that we will start from the 0th index, and we will check how many students can use that chalk pieces. So first student will use 3 chalk pieces, the remaining chalk pieces will be 2. After that, as the value is 4 and the remaining value is 2, so this will be our answer. So let's code it up. It is a simple problem. Let's declare some variables first. And another thing that we have to care is, as the value is very large, so if we are finding sum, the value of every index can be 10 to the power 5, and the length of the array is also 10 to the power 5. So the total sum can be 10 to the power 5 into 10 to the power 5, which is 10 to the power 10. okay, which exceeds the limit of the integer. So we will use long or long to solve this problem. So for finding sum, we will use long variables. So let's declare long int variables, long sum for the total sum, and current sum let's take for the last iteration sum that will give the answer. And also we will say we will use some variables I, and let's take the size as n, chalk dot size. Okay, now let's run a loop for initially counting the sum. So for I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus sum plus equals to the current value, which is chalk I. After that, now we will find the remaining sum by the modulus, remaining sum for the last iteration. So let's name it as remaining chalks. So int remaining chalks equals to the modulo, as we discussed, k modulo the total sum that we counted. Now let's run another loop to find the answer. So for I equals to 0, I less than n again, I plus plus. Now at every point we will just increase current sum plus equals to chalk I, the current value, and at any point if the current sum surpasses the value of the remaining chalks, then we can simply return the index of that point. So let's write if current sum is greater than remaining chalks, will simply return I. Okay, so and also we don't need to worry about the division by 0, because in the given constraint value starts from 1 only, so there will no sum as 0. And we also need to write return 0 here, although it will never reach here, but for the compiler issue, let's try to run this. Okay, let's submit this. Okay, so the code is accepted. Thank you for watching. Okay, let's increase its runtime. As you can see, this is a simple bug of Leetcode.